Good morning. Welcome to 90% Knitting. I think this is episode 341. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm Lisa, also known as Fiber Nymph, and obviously I'm coming to you not in any of my normal locations. I'm not sure I have a normal location anymore. We are actually in my backyard by the garden. I'm not even sure what time it is. It might be, I don't even know that it's 8 o'clock yet this morning. I don't know. I just decided that I would take advantage of what is probably going to be the coolest part of the day to come out here and record, because I've been having issues finding good places to record. Oh, there's Tippy. At least if she's over there, she's not bumping the chair that I have my camera set on, because I can't find my tripod anywhere. I'm not exactly sure where it's at the moment. It may be somewhere in my bedroom, which would make sense since that's the last place I recorded, but my husband's in there asleep and I don't want to bother him. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, this isn't going to be a regular episode, really. I'm not even sure I should call it episode 241. It's 341. We're in threes, right? Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. 341, abridged. Anyway, the last time I recorded, I'm sitting, our backyard's a hill, and so I'm kind of propping myself upright. I mean, I don't know if you can tell the hillishness here. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, the last time I recorded, I was in the bedroom, and I didn't realize until afterwards that the ceiling fan, I mean, I knew it was on, but I didn't realize how visible it was when it was on, because I know I've recorded in there before with it on. Maybe it had been on slower or something, but I got a comment about how it was really hard to, like, at least one person was unable to watch it because of the ceiling fan and it causing like migraines and, visual disturbances. And now we've got a plane going overhead. Oh, the joys of recording outside. At any rate, I figure if I heard from one person about that, it probably affected more than one person. So I apologize for that. That never even, obviously, it didn't dawn on me that could be an issue. That's not one of the triggers for my headaches, and I guess that's why it didn't tune in. I mentioned it to my husband, and he's like, oh yeah, that would be bad, because he does get migraines based on that kind of stuff. So I apologize, and I actually, in retrospect, I found it really ironic that happened probably within days of Ravelry releasing its new web design for the site, and how many people were having those same kind of issues because of some of the elements on there. So I apologize. I will make a point to not have anything like that moving in the background in future videos. But at this point in life, I'm just really not sure where the best place is for me to record, because it's summer, and aside from like coming outside here first thing in the morning like this, which I can do, I don't have any place in the house to record other than my bedroom, where there's a fan to keep me cool. I can't run the air conditioner because it would be way too loud. And I know that day that I recorded was extremely warm. My daughter is over in the yarn room, which I have recorded in before, and I could record in there without the ceiling fan being visible, but she's in there and her stuff's in there, and I'm trying to not, invade her space any more than I have to. The porch room is still in disarray because that's where my husband's work base is for the foreseeable future. And the rest of the house is just very, very warm at this time of year. We don't have central air. So I've been feeling displaced in the house just because of all this other stuff going on. I just don't have a good spot right now. So I'm not sure how I'm going to proceed moving forward during the summer to record. I may end up just doing short little videos like this, and they may not be full episodes, and I'll try to fit them in when I can. I may also try to do like some Instagram lives. I did do one, was it last weekend? I don't even remember now. Time has totally cease to have meaning for me. Don't even ask me what the day of the week is. I know it's Sunday today, but other than that, like, I don't know. I did the Instagram Live for the ZK virtual market, which was last weekend, although it feels like it was a lot longer ago than that, because this past week has just been insane. Long story short to that, my husband got sick over a week ago now, like a week and a half ago maybe. He started not feeling good, and then he got really sick, like high fever, muscle aches, headache, excruciating headache, just all the symptoms that you in this day and age think, oh my gosh, COVID. And so we pretty immediately isolated him. He was in the bedroom, and we have an attached bath, so he was in there. I was sleeping in the porch room after I moved all of his work stuff off the couch in there, and my daughter was obviously in her room. So, I would take food into him, keeping distances, wearing protective masks and things. We did end up getting him tested for COVID, and it felt like it took forever to get the results back, but I guess it probably was only a couple of days, and he was negative. So I guess I should tell you that. Yeah, negative. So thank goodness. But he was still really, really ill. I mean, the fever and the headache was just not going away. He was so fatigued. That was the other big thing. He was just so tired. And so once we knew he was negative, we made a doctor's appointment for the next day, and we're going to get him checked out because clearly something was going on. And that evening before his doctor's appointment, I have a text thing that goes on with some friends of mine, and we were chatting, and my one friend said, hey, why don't you get him asked to get him tested for Lyme disease, because that is actually a really big thing around here. We have lots and lots of ticks. Matter of fact, that one right there, even though she wears a Seresto collar that's supposed to keep ticks from embedding, I'm regularly picking ticks off of her face because she just loves to go in all the high grass and everything. Anyway, so I said, yeah, that's a really good idea because the symptoms are quite similar. And so I had mentioned that to him that night, and he's like, yeah, that would be a good thing to get tested for. So that was what we were intending, to go to the doctor and make sure he asked about that. Well, the next morning, he was getting ready to go, and he had just gotten out of the shower, and I had walked in the bathroom to say something to him, and he turned around, and I said, what is going on in the back of your leg? And up on his upper thigh, like a spot where you would not notice unless you were making a point of like looking at your butt in the mirror or something, he had a huge bullseye rash, which is, that stereotypical thing that you see with Lyme. You don't always get the rash, though, and that was the thing. He'd been laying in bed for how many days? So we had no reason to actually know that was there, and he didn't feel it, I guess because he was just laying still. I mean, after he realized it was there, he's like, yeah, that felt a little sore whenever I was getting washed. So anyway, I have to say, this sounds weird, but I've never been so relieved to know that there was a tick bite and that he probably had Lyme. I mean, Lyme is no joking matter. I mean, you have to get treated for it, or it can have some really bad ramifications too. But, having it be Lyme and not COVID was quite a relief. Meanwhile, while we were still in that no man's land of not knowing whether he had COVID or not, I had just been doing the virtual weekend market last weekend, and so I had all these orders to ship out, and it's like, the yarn I knew was fine because I've ever since Emma's been home and taken over my yarn room, I've just been storing all my yarn in bins, so I knew the yarn was fine. And from everything I've read, the virus can't live on yarn and dry things like that, and it can't live on packaging and mail and things like that, but I was still kind of paranoid. So I waited a couple of extra days before shipping out all the orders until we had that answer. So if you ordered from me, you can be pretty sure that your yarn is healthy. But it was just a very, very stressful period. So all that to say, that's what's been going on in my world, and that's why I'm kind of out here in the yard, sitting in the wet grass, recording this morning. I have pretty much gotten no crafting done since all this started, because I guess it was just the stress of it, just kind of shot my crafting mojo down. It wasn't until last evening, Bill and I were sitting in the bedroom and we watched Hamilton, which was really good. Um, yeah, I knit while we were watching Hamilton, and that's the first knitting that I've done probably in a week and a half. Yeah, it's weird. I have not gone this long without knitting in a very, very long time, or crafting. I mean, even like when I say knitting, I mean pretty much any crafting. Like, I have not crocheted, I haven't spun, I haven't woven, I haven't done anything. So I really have no crafts to show you today. You can see my garden. I've actually been spending a lot of time down here by the garden. Maybe I'll try to take some B-roll and put that in either at the beginning of the podcast or at the end. I don't know, or maybe both. Who knows? But yeah, I've been down here a lot because everything's so lush right now. It's wonderful. We have not been able to harvest anything yet, but things are coming along. We have tomatoes on our plants. There's little tiny peppers on some of the plants. The squash should be blooming any day now. They're so big and getting all their little tendrils that they're shooting out. The beans have tons of flowers on them. I'm sorry, I'm trying to rearrange myself here because this is a little painful sitting on this hillside like that. Yeah, anyway, so the garden's doing super well. The flowers are all so, so pretty. See those? I love these tall flowers. I can't remember what they're called, but they're really pretty. So yeah, gardening has kind of been where my creative juices have been going. Now Babette is bumping the chair, and it's moving my camera. Sorry. And reading. I have been in a reading mode, like an actual physical book reading mode. And that's been phenomenal because I don't usually read because I'm working, and I have still been working through all this too. At least as much as I needed to. It was just very hard to focus on anything. So he is feeling better now. We went to the doctor. He got an antibiotic. She did confirm Lyme. Got an antibiotic. The next day, he had a horrible reaction to the first antibiotic. It made his brain swell and feel like his brain was going to explode. Yes, that's the kind of headache he had. So we ended up in the emergency room the next day, and I swear the cat is just out to get me here. Sorry. Yeah, we ended up in the ER the next day, and they gave him a new antibiotic. So he is now, I think, on the upswing, although this morning he now has a headache back. So I don't know how long it's going to take to resolve that, but that seems to be one of his major symptoms throughout all of this. So anyway, yeah, that's why I don't really have anything much to show you, because that's what I've been dealing with, and what creativity I've had has either gone into my gardening, I've spent my energy reading, and working as so much as I needed to. Although I will say this is the 4th of July weekend here. Well, it's the 4th of July weekend everywhere, but here in the U.S. this is our Independence Day weekend. Yesterday was our Independence Day here. 244 years, I think. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to do the math in my head. 1776 was the year of our independence, so I think that's 244. Anyway, I basically have been choosing to take a break this weekend and do no work at all, which is, again, that's something I don't usually do either, but it was much needed, and I've been chilling, sitting out on the swing in the front yard and relaxing until it gets too hot. Then I have to come inside and hide in the cool somewhere, like either in the bedroom with my husband, or if my daughter isn't home, I go in her room. So whatever. Anyway, I mainly wanted to record this morning just so I could, well, A, update you on what's been going on and why I don't have a regular episode for you today. And B, I have prize winners to announce, and I didn't want to keep those waiting because we are now in the beginning of the third quarter of the year, and so that means I have all the second quarter prizes for you for the 20 and 20 challenge, as well as the monthly makes, which is technically in the shop news segment, but I'm kind of bundling it all together here this time. So yeah, I have a prize winner for the second quarter 20 and 20 participation. I have the second quarter chatter thread winner for monthly makes. I have a second quarter finished object thread winner for monthly makes. Those are the only three I have to announce. I am behind on pulling the Instagram prize winners for monthly makes right now. Am I supposed to be doing one for 20 and 22? I have to double check. I can't remember. I'm sorry. My brain is just not there right now. I'll double check. And if I need to pick one for that too, I will for Instagram. At any rate, I will do those hopefully later today and get those done a little bit late, but hopefully you understand. And then those of you who participated in monthly makes for both the first and second quarter and got your requisite grams submitted each quarter so that you qualified for your first half of the year free skein, I will be validating all of that stuff again hopefully today, and you will get a direct message from me on Ravelry about that. And I will probably also ear burn you in that thread, so you will know about that. And if you think that you should have gotten that and you don't hear from me, please feel free to PM me on Ravelry and I will look into it. Okay, so that is coming. And also anyone who participated in the second quarter of monthly makes, you at all, like, if you participated at all in monthly makes, in the finished object thread, you will be getting your second quarter discount code also through a Ravelry message. So you can be looking for that as well. I think that's everything that I owe you guys for the knit-alongs and the programs right now. I'm going to start by showing you your prize options. All of the prize options are yarn from the Color Play 3 collection. And I decided to put together sets this time, so you're not just getting one skein of yarn for your prize, you're getting two. I just thought that would be fun because these go together really well. So the first set of yarn is a skein of poof and a skein of floof, and this is the dappled colorway, so this is that fun bright summery yellow. And then those same two yarns in Canopy, which is the green version. And then we have one more skein of poof. This is Dew, so this is that really light ivory, and the speckled version of Color Play number 3 on floof. So that's another poof and floof combo. And then lastly, we have the variegated version of Color Play number 3, which now has grass on it because it fell out of my little bin here. I'll pick the grass off before I mail it to you. So this is Sunshine, my Sunshine base, and the blush floof. So those are the 4 prize options. So out of these 3 prize winners I'm about to announce, all 3 of you, when you see that you... My phone's sliding again. Oh, geez. Okay, hang on. When you see that you've won, please PM me, and please let me know, 1, your mailing address, and 2, your top 3 prize choices from those 4 sets that I just showed. And I will send you whichever one is still available. Okay? I'm going to start with the Chatter prize winner for the 20 and 20. So in the second quarter, the posts were 797 through 1166, and random number generator chose post number 1157, and that is Meditative Crafter, who is Sherry. So congratulations, Sherry. Thanks so much for participating, and please PM me with that information and your top 3 choices from those prizes I just showed, and I will get that mailed out to you. Okay, now we're going to go on to the Chatter Prize winner for monthly makes for the second quarter. That was post number 322 through 484, and the winner was post 375, who is Pepper RN. So that's Pam. Congratulations, Pam. Same thing, please. I know I have your mailing address somewhere, but send it to me again. It makes it easier, along with your prize choice, or top 3 prize choices. So congratulations. And lastly, the prize winner from the finished object thread for monthly makes in the second quarter. We had 14 posts, so there were 13 people who submitted third or second quarter finished objects, and so it was 2 through 14, and the winner was actually post number 2, who is Will Travel for Yarn, and that's Maya. So congratulations, Maya. Same thing, mailing address and your top 3 prize choices. My phone does not want to stay sitting where I keep putting it, and you keep losing the pretty flowers. So anyway, all right. Yeah, so the rest of everything that I owe as far as prizes and notifications for things, I will be getting that out hopefully later today. Yeah, and that's really all I have for you. I don't have any shop updates scheduled at this point in time. I do have a couple of Throwback Thursday things that I'm planning on doing, and I hope I get them out this month in July, since it's still early in the month, and hopefully life will be normalizing here soon. Again, I'm not super sure when I'll be able to record again, just because recording is becoming such an issue in the summer, and honestly, I got to tell you, I am just in this weird phase this summer. Like, some sort of, I don't know. I'm not feeling the recording because I feel like I'm constantly disjointed, and it takes me forever to edit these podcasts anymore because everything is just so scattered. So I don't know. Maybe I need to change up my format for the summer and just give myself a break. Hopefully you guys won't mind if I do that. Because I feel like it might just be better to do smaller, shorter recordings that I can do outside here and there, rather than trying to force the process of a regular podcast when it clearly does not want to happen, if the troubles I've had lately are any indication. So hang in there. I will be back, I promise. I just don't know in what form, but I hope y'all are having a wonderful summer. I hope you're having a good holiday weekend if you're here in the U.S. or otherwise celebrating the 4th of July. Yeah, and take care, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Ew.